About it this morning, Chicago expected to be involved in that bidding war for Barack Obama's presidential library. Front and center going to be involved.
That's right. Anita Padilla reports from one of the potential sites on the south side. Anita, so it is now New York, Chicago, and Hawaii battling it out.
I know, exactly. And, it's amazing. Joining me right now live is Thomas Korfman with Cranes. Thank you so much for joining me. We were just talking. The anchor said New York, Hawaii, and Chicago. You're saying Chicago's not a shoo-in.
Well, this is a major financial commitment. We're talking about a project where perhaps the building itself might cost $250 million. You would need to raise another $250 million or more as an endowment. So clearly, if the Columbia University and the City of New York makes the kind of financial commitment that it would take to get this going, they could take this from Chicago.
The foundation that's overseeing this whole project is going to be taking requisitions very shortly. There are a number of groups here, and there are a number of sites here. What do you think would be the most likely site, even though we're at this one?
Well, it's very difficult at this juncture to handicap the site. The Obamas themselves will pick the site. I think that the advantages that Bronzeville has is that it's a neighborhood that is redeveloping, has advantages, but needs a push.
Now, you were saying some of the other museums and libraries, there's potential for a tremendous amount of tourism and money.
Well, the George W. Bush Center in Dallas, for example, which opened last year, that is projected to draw 450,000 tourists a year. We talk about them as libraries, like you go and check out books. They do hold the presidential papers, but they are really museums that shape the legacy, the historical legacy of the president. And tourism is a very important part of that.
And the Obamas have the last say so.
And no question about it. The Obamas will decide where it will be located. They will, once the president leaves office, he will spearhead the fundraising effort, and then the National Archives basically supports most of the cost of maintaining the facility.
This is visitbronzeville.com, and we're asking individuals on the street, where do they think the Obama Library should be built?
We have a beautiful spot where the Mercy Hospital used to be, Soldier Field and the Millennium Park, so close to the downtown. We have the Green Line coming up here. What could be a better place? I cannot think of a better place than Bronzeville.
Maybe in his neighborhood, Kenwood. That'd be a great idea.
Okay, and why do you think it should be in Kenwood?
Because that's where he's from. I hope he come back. Is he coming back?
Okay, yes.
My opinion, they're building up so much of the city, and they're going west, and they're going north. They need to build up this part of the city.
Yes.
And I think that would bring a lot of opportunities for everyone, and that would make me come down this way more as well.
So I don't think of any place other than the fact that it should be here.
Yes.
This is where his life is.
It's really important that it's easy to access, and a lot of my friends don't have cars. So, especially this area is right off the red line, and there's a lot of space. So,
since we've got the land, and we need further development in this area, so to me, I think it should be in Bronzeville.
People are really excited about the potential that exists here. Joining me live right now is Paula Robinson. You're with the Bronzeville Community Development Partnership. Thank you for joining us this morning. You have been talking about this since 2008. You said Chicago could have it.
Absolutely. We are saying make it Chicago. We are at the heart of what is the Black Metropolis National Heritage Area. And that means there's a whole weave of stories right here. And we think that the Presidential Library is a part of all of that layering of history. You mentioned that this is the Michael Reese site. The Michael Reese Hospital represented really what Obamacare today means. It was a place where, regardless of what you could afford, color, race, creed, you were welcome there. But more importantly, it was a place of innovation in terms of medical history and the kinds of discoveries and things that were invented around polio and diabetes and all kinds of things. It happened right here at this site. But this site is also someplace where we're looking at the Illinois Central Railroad. That's the story of the Great Migration. It's the story of 500,000 people coming to Chicago with the idea that there was a better way of life, and really transforming their lives once they got here. So we're right here in this corridor of the Illinois Central Railroad. but this is a shared history of a lot of people. This was actually one of the first homes for the University of Chicago. This was the first University of Chicago school. The university was right here. So this is a shared history. We can all celebrate it.
You were just schooling me. I didn't even know all of that. Wow. Really quickly, this could be a huge boom for tourism and the south side of the city.
No question. I mean, what our mayor has talked about is elevate Chicago. He's saying, I want this site here to connect downtown, Hyde Park, the museum. This is his vision of the South Museum campus. You know, Chicago is a city in the parks. We have all of these museums in the parks, Soldier Field, all of these things. What we're really talking about is really expanding on what is our basic assets. So one of our partners here, McCormick Place, we've already got this infrastructure. The land is ready, but what we've got is a goal to raise ourselves up in terms of international tourism.
That's exciting, exciting news. And you can tell you are so fired up about this.
We got to be ready.
Thank you so much, Paula Robinson, for joining us
Absolutely.
this morning at this very early hour on a beautiful day. That always helps bring them out here. Reporting live, Anita Padilla, Fox 32 News. Back to you.
Anita, John and I have decided that we are going to pitch in to send Paula to Washington, D.C. because if she, if she gets to talk to them, this library will be in Chicago.